What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 10 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Taurox the Brass Bull campaign. So as we saw last time, Morgur the Shadow bullied some Dryads as we encountered the Wargrove of Woe and Draika and brought two of their forces low. Unfortunately, we did manage to miss Colas the Forgotten, who was able to get past us and retake Wiedebach, and we'll probably have to go all the way over here and destroy him just to make sure that we get back our Herdstone shards. I was originally going to hit Needling, but it might actually be better to just head towards Wiedebach while we're at it. Not a big deal, we'll be back for Needling as well, and we'll be putting a Herdstone there as well, so it's all good. In addition to that, Taurox has more or less arrived in Bretonnian territories now and has destroyed a few armies belonging to Kurun, with our Bray Shaman Slaw doing massive amounts of damage to a hilarious pile of Bretonnians. Looks like we'll have plenty more battles against them, and hopefully we'll encounter King Lewin and the rest of the legendary lords, since it looks like most of them are being confederated now relatively soon, and start buffing up Taurox's various defeat traits. Anyway, let's see what we gotta do this time around. Oh wait, actually no, looks like we did once again reach the threshold of the engagement, and thus this will be an hour-long episode, and once again the offer does stand. 300 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Morgur, as I just said, we're going to start sending you to Wiedebach. You can travel, by the looks of it, faster in raiding stance, so I guess in raiding stance you shall stay. Can't quite travel farther in Beast Pass, but that's okay. Alright, start moving, bud. I guess you can, yeah, it's funny. You know how everybody travels faster along the roads, and that includes Beastmen? I feel like Beastmen should travel slower along the roads and faster within the forests. Maybe they actually wouldn't. Maybe they, for all their hatred of civilization, they actually do like those roads, but it would be a nice little touch. Anyway, I believe we can knock down Griffin Wood. Yeah, there's basically nothing there. Do we need to fight this? Let's see, they got some Deepwood Scouts, they got some Glade Guard, they don't have any elites in there. I'm concerned. Oh, also, before I forget, you, Razorgore Herd, let's bring the Foul Tusks back. Foul Tusks, because I accidentally deleted you last time around. Alright, Kazrak, I'd like you to head into Ruination stance, and I'd like you to head over here to this side of Griffin Wood, because if we're going to delete it, and we're going to head to Sutha's next turn. Oh, East of the Wild. We're going to want to move this way. So, to Griffinwood. What do we have? Close victory and medium casualties. I mean, we are hurt. And just by virtue of the fact that we're hurt could make for a something of a battle. And it's not like this is... Fata Buna? Yeah, Fata Buna. It's not like this is... Taurox's army, so it's going to be a lot more vulnerable. Alright, let's get you Wild Heart, and we'll get Pan's Impenetrable Pelt after. Anyway, you know what, why not? Let's start this off with a quick little battle, see how quick we can make it. Go. Alright, Kazrak yelled something. I don't know what it was, but at least yelled something. He did. We heard something from him. Anyway, here we go, a small battle to start the day, although there are obviously a few enemy units that could be threatening to us here, namely the 2 units of Wildwood Rangers, and, well, all the range focus fire. In addition to that, fortunately though, it looks like the enemy will focus fire Kazrak first, and he's got reasonable resistances. For the time being, certainly he'll take less damage than the rest of the units getting focused down, so I'm glad of that. Also, interestingly enough, that counts as him losing melee for a few seconds as he charges in while he takes hits, and immediately forces the Hounds of Pestilence to get summoned right on top of the enemy, which is quite nice here, as these Hounds will herald the arrival of Kazrak and the arrival survival of the rest of the army. Now, in terms of the deployment, most of our units, or at least our melee infantry, are going to be heading up the main sort of ramp towards this enemy tower, as well as the enemy lord. And of course, it'll take him a little bit of a while to break through those Eternal Guard here. At least there are no Eternal Guard on the second little entrance, and thus we'll be able to chase those Glade Guard down. Out here, we have deployed all of our fast movers, our Razor Gores, our Tuskor and Razor Gore chariots, and all of our Hounds of Pestilence, plus, of course, a Beret Shaman to lead them all, and the Minotaurs to add a little bit of extra damage against those Wildwood Rangers. Hopefully, these guys will be able to get around the relatively limited enemy melee units, and thus knock out those Wildwood Rangers without enemy range supporting them. Speaking of the Wildwood Rangers, we charge them with our Razor Gores and with our Minotaurs and our Hounds of Pestilence while dropping a Fate of Biuna upon them. So they're having a pretty bad day, and in fact the first of the units is already down to about 30% HP. As I said, these are the biggest threats on the field, and we gotta focus them down as much as possible. Out here, it looks like some Eternal Guard are trapped between a bunch of pestilent doggos. Oh, I do kind of like the purple color scheme, though. It ain't bad. And over in the background, we have our chariots running around, as well as a unit of Gores that's moving in to help out. The chariots are running down any enemy range units. The range units not stopping to fire back, fortunately. And this will at least prevent them from supporting their allies. Alright, looks like the first of the units of the Wildwood Rangers is done for. The Fate of Biuna taking the last of the remaining units out. And I guess it was a good thing that we put that point into the spell. There is, however, another unit of Wildwood Rangers here. We're going to pop Soul Blight on them and any nearby enemies and continue annoying them with Bleed, Poison, and all of these units, focusing them at the same time. Some Dryads are moving in to help, but I don't think they'll be around long. They don't have Dryka to buff them in between the Gore Herd and the fast movers, and we should be just fine. Kaz, in the meantime, has broken through the lines here, though a few more Eternal Guard are still holding the Gores and Bestigores. They're going to get overwhelmed sooner rather than later, and damn, Bestigores, you can certainly leap pretty darn high. It's a lot more frightening when the Bestigores do that as opposed to the Gores and Hungores, because the Bestigores are also heavily armored, and while they do. Anyway, as I was saying, Kazrak has charged in, is going after the enemy Glade Lord, who does have a few of those Deepwood scouts helping him out, but this isn't a bad place for Kazrak and his Razor Gore chariot to be. And thus he'll continue his work going after the enemy lord and capturing this tower, ideally. Also, if the enemy lord gets away like that, it'll enable Kazrak. And oh! Alright, I didn't expect the enemy lord to go flying that far. But I was saying that Kazrak can at least use some of his massive charge bonus. Not for long, though, because it looks like the fast movers have done their job, and just like that, this little wooded territory will fall. Nice little battle. I'm very used to fighting these Athaloran territories with Grimgore, so it feels very weird right now to be able to use fast-moving units, because Grimgore's army in the Grimgore campaign, Grimgore was taking over Athaloran, and he basically had, well, not even basically, he had no fast movers at all. It was just Black Orcs, which are very slow and have to very slowly march their way through each one of these territories, trudging through the hail of arrows and axing the enemy down, whereas these guys can simply get around the enemy and get right into their back line and obliterate all those enemy range units. Still, and different and fun and replay. Alrighty, there we go. Very, very nice. Ooh, nearly 100 dread per battle. Now just gotta get a little bit more of those dread buffs and we'll be sitting pretty. Once we're making like 200 to 300 dread per battle, it's going to be very easy to acquire all of those delicious elite units. and that we've been waiting for. And now into, ooh, we got some pretty decent work out of our Razor Gore Chariot. 73 kills, not a crazy amount of damage, but there probably wasn't a crazy amount of damage in this battle dealt. In general, the Pestilent Hounds probably did by far the best with their 10k, although this one unit of Gores, 15k, and not too bad either. I mean, considering we sent in the Gores first, and that does make sense, nearly 10k for Kaz himself, and just out of curiosity. Yeah, well, the Tuskor Chariot really didn't do much, but, well, at least the Razor Gores did, and 73 kills is, what, the third most kills. Yeah, I think that is worthy of a name. We're gonna name you now, and oh, wow, 4.9k. Huh, well, that's quite nice. Well, we're not gonna, well, it's 5k, we're gonna take that. Loot and raise, please, and back away into the appropriate direction there, Mr. Kaz. Go into raiding, and I believe we can move into Sutha, so we will be damaged here, but we can take a little bit of money for it. Oh, we'll probably have to fight this battle by virtue of that anyway, rather than heal up, but that's okay. We're going to heal up here anyway next turn, because we're going to raise a Herdstone here, so it does make sense. Also, Kaz, you sir leveled up. We can get Manslayer, which does give us the magic item drop chance and Steely's chance, which ain't too bad. We could start moving into buffs for the, yeah, well, the buffs for the various units would at least, I'm thinking they would empower our auto-resolve capabilities a little bit more. Oh, we also have Crown of Horns. Oh, I forgot that Kaz has Manbane rather than Rune of the True Beast, which is a little bit unfortunate, because like everybody else, I think he'd get more mileage out of Rune of the True Beast than this. But you know what? Screw it, just get Crown of Thorns. Yeah, actually, no, you know what? We'll get that after. Let's get Manslayer first. I want that magic item drop chance increase. We just don't have enough items at the current time. I also would love to get Kazarek a Razor Gore Chariot, another Razor Gore Chariot, but we'll get it once we're in this place, and then we can build the, we'll be building the buildings, because we have to wait anyway. Fast and the Furious. Oh, it fit. Very nice. Alright, that's our first Razor Gore Chariot. We'll get rid of the Tuskor Chariots because they, frankly, they serve no purpose. If anybody knows what the possible purpose of the Tuskor Chariots is, please let me know, because I would really, really like to know. I guess the Tuskors have Woodsmen, whereas the Razor Gore Chariots do not. But they both have Strider either way. But we still wouldn't use the Tuskor Chariots over the Razor Gore Chariots, and they're acquired and their capacities are acquired from the same line here. Yeah. It's a bit weird. I think what they should have perhaps done is maybe swapped it around in some way so that Razor Gore Chariots were separate from Tuskor Chariots here, so that they were much easier to acquire, because by the time you're acquiring them, you're just going to build Tuskor Chariots. Or Razor Gore Chariots, not Tuskor Chariots, but I digress. Let's see what else we need to do. Malagor, I think you don't need to move right now, and because we can see if we can maybe get an ambush going on Margulla. Varen here is open and probably going to get attacked by these guys. They are near it, although the ambush is liable to fail because Hagren will most likely move there than Morgella, but nonetheless, who knows? And give it a try. You don't have to do anything. Korgoth, I'd like you to stay here and watch Kolis the Forgotten. If he leaves Wiedebach rather than facing Morgur down, then what we're going to have to do is try to block him with Korgoth. Although if this guy just destroys himself trying to attack Taliban, that really does work too. Wouldn't complain about that. Anyway, I do believe that's it. Taurox cannot move, unfortunately, because he's potentially stuck at Castle Gisoro, and I guess we're about to find out whether he is. I would like to double check whether we have a little bit more money to spend. Sahagun. You know what, let's just level you. Shamanic Challenges and Winds of Malady. We're going Nurgle and we're going Tzinch pretty much everywhere. I'd say in about 99% of places. Nurgle and Tzinch, just for the buffs from Raising in combination with the buffs from Dread. I really wish that we could get the Slanesh one there, and just because of the much stronger garrison, but it's okay. I think all of them will be pretty defensible regardless. What are you? Rancorous Brang. Oh, you are Slaneshi. Okay, well that's great for you, but we'll build the shamanic challenges here. I mean, we got all that money from that raise. which was real nice. And we're hoping to get some more. Taliban, we are going to keep you. Let's raise a shamanic challenge here as well, and I believe that was it. More dread per turn, please. And I think we're just going to get up to 2,000 and get the tier 4 of these things, since we've invested in them now, and we really don't want to lose them, right? Alrighty, anyway. Skip. Outpost available. And you know what, while we're at it, since Malagor didn't move, let's get a few names in his army, shall we? Let's do... I don't know if I'm going to keep the Razor Gores here. In fact, it's fairly likely that I'm not, but we definitely, most definitely, will be keeping his flyers. So, Harpies, Feathers of the Dark One. Alright, let's not do a crazy amount, but, you know, let's do enough. Icarus's Angels. And let's do a couple of Manticores as well. Alright, oh wow, you guys got a lot of Manticore names. Dragon Biter. And I like how these two are themed. Dragon Biter and Scale Eater. There we go. Makes sense. We don't know which one of them was trying to eat the corpse of Brachus Rakarth's dragon, but one of them was. Let's also name the giant. Alright, Dirty Harry. Sure, why not? And we'll be getting like 4 giants in this army, I think, so yeah. At least 4 giants. Yeah, 4 giants seems about right, and then these 2 may be replaced with Doom Knights if we can get them at some point, please. I just want a few more flyers in the flying army. Oh, and if we can't get them, and it's possible that we can't, we could do 4 giants and then 2 incarnate elementals of beasts because of that flock of doom that they have. So it kind of works, right? Right. Alrighty. End turn. Taurox, you can move to Castle Gisero, hopefully right now. Rakarth is, what, you gonna want to peace out, bud? Did you not declare war on us, like, 2 turns ago? No. And, hey, it did work with Morgella. Oh, that's fantastic. I was thinking that it, that the AI would move the first army first, like the little tiny army outside the settlement, because usually I think it moves those first, but it didn't this time. Ooh, let's hope we can steal that Forbidden Rod as well. Looks like there are some Slaneshi cultists among these Dark Elves. Anyway, we should have a decent chance here. There are enemy Feral Manticores and Harpies to face off against us. The Mammoth and the Carnosaur are most definitely going to be of concern. And so are the Medusae. The Medusae are really threatening to the Harpies. A single shot from them can just, like, halve the HP of a unit. It's really nasty. They're particularly useful against the mobs of weak flyers like this. And frankly, they should probably be doing decent damage to the giant feral manticores as well. But anyway, I digress again. Let's attack. Alrighty, here we go. An ambush with Malagor. This should be pretty interesting. Generally speaking, I think ambushes are the least useful for Malagor's army, mostly because we have flyers, and the column formation in some situations would actually be more helpful to the enemy than certain other formations, so... Not sure how effective this will be, but hopefully reasonably effective. And we've deployed in such a way where pretty much our entire army is at the back of the enemy column. We hope to prevent the Medusae from firing, and same with the Reaper bolt throwers, and by engaging them in combat before they can get those rail guns off, and obviously mob the enemy flyers. The 2 Harpies will be gone very, very quickly because we have complete air superiority. Nice swipe from one of those manticores of ours, and of course all of the debuffs that the Harpies get due to the presence of Malagor and that Pigeon Plucker Pendant, Scarecrow Banner, and Feather Foe Torque. Otherwise, it's a matter of running down and destroying those Medusae, which are definitely a very threatening unit for this army in particular, and all of the enemy artillery before peeling away and joining the fight out here against the rest of the enemy units. Looks like we've also sent Malagor out here to hunt some 2 feral manticores with our own manticores. Actually, both of the named manticores, Scale Eater and Dragon Biter, and going after them. Maybe we should have named one of them something anti-manticore. Manticore bullying manticore. I don't know, that probably wouldn't fit. Anyway, somebody come up with something good. Let's continue. Anyway, Malagor will continue with his aerial dance, Manticore versus Manticore, but that doesn't stop him from casting as he does his Trickster Shard on the enemy blob of units and pops off his Penumbral Pendulum. It looks like that got only 34 kills, but at 20k roughly damage, it was certainly worth the cast. Looks like the enemy Harpies are out of there, and it looks like the enemy Medusa is in bad shape as well, or at the very least not firing her railgun. The enemy has moved in with its Mammoth as well as its Feral Carnosaur, but the Feral Carnosaur will now be targeted both by our Giant and our Gorbel at the same time. Like the Giant and the Gorbel went through the enemy monsters when we fought Rakarth himself, knocking down that War Hydra and those 2 Stegs and whatever else was in that particular battle, and they're going to do the same thing here. It's kind of funny, Malagor is probably the worst of our lords at fighting the exact type of armies that Rakarth is likely to bring to bear with all those monstrous units. At least until we get more giants on the field, which is pretty interesting because, well, Malagor is the one that's getting matched up against them. Anyway, it looks like a roughly half HP on both the Feral Carno and the Feral Mammoth. The enemy has also brought its Feral Manticore and a bunch of Feral Cold Ones to play and help out here, forcing our various Ungors to rout. Hardly surprising though, and it's not like we're really relying on the Ungors to do too much work. I think the enemy Lord is also dead. We did drop down Malagor and I think 4 Manticores at the same time on the enemy Lord's head. And the enemy Lord basically disappeared, and I missed it because it happened so quick, but, well, that's what happens sometimes. On the bright side, with the enemy Lord gone, the enemy suffers a morale shock, and their infantry, missile, and melee alike, and begin to rout. We still have to take out those saber tusks, but it looks like the Manticores and Harpies together should be pretty darn adept at it. Over in the background, it looks like the enemy Mammoth is routing, and I do believe the Carnosaur is down as well. In fact, just to see it fall upon its smaller cousins, the Cold Ones. And now it's just a matter of bringing down the Cold Ones and this Medusa, and ooh, it looks like the enemy will activate Murderous Prowess, but it's one of those situations where Murderous Prowess is too little, too late. The Medusa is going to get brought down by the pile of Manticores, and so are the rest of the units, though they will give no more fight. It looks like the Murderous Prowess activated just as the fight ended. Fantastic. That certainly works for us. The Mammoth will go down, and then we'll speed the rest of the battle over. Or up. I know why I said over. Yeah, speed the rest of it up as we chase the enemy down. Ah, damn, I got the armor of silvered steel, and rather than the forbidden rod, which is a shame, but oh well, what can you do? What we also got, though, is 3.4k in terms of reward. Looks like we're making cash, or Dark God's favor, in this particular episode. And now, at 14% losses, we really didn't do too bad here. It was an ambush that worked out in our favor. Somehow the enemy survived, and despite being wounded, and came back with 1 HP probably, which I don't know what situation that happens in, but it is curious. I think we could have gotten a lot less losses than we got if it weren't for the fact that the Harpies, well, I mean, units in general, but aerial units, especially aerial units with multiple units, like the Harpies, but really anything more than one, have that annoying tendency with one unit to get stuck and then the unit tries to constantly come back into combat. If anything ever gets fixed, I would really like that behavior to be prioritized, personally. But anyway, not a big deal at the end of the day. We still did well, sacrifice those captives, lose a little bit of bestial rage, but that's plenty of cash, and most definitely worthwhile. And Deathmaster Sunch wants a non-aggression pact, but no, I don't think so. And we only signed those other non-aggression pacts early in the game with the others Skaven because we wanted their money. And while Deathmaster Snitch was willing to offer us 300, I'm not sure we would have even done it for 3,000. Clan Scab. Also, what did I just say, Clan Scab? No. Alrighty, now, Khagren's little army is still outside, though I imagine if we attack it with Malagor, And we probably won't draw out the garrison. At least I don't believe so. But anyway, Taurox is the one that I most care about right now. Hey, defensive drills, plus 15 melee defense for Taurox. Well, that's nice. You have instituted defensive training for this army's troops, teaching them to better anticipate incoming blows. All units now have improved melee defense capabilities. You know, that just doesn't sound like something Taurox would do, but why not, game? Why not? Let's flip you into Ruination stance, and ooh. Okay, so we need to set this up. We have one Herdstone shard remaining. Here's the problem. Kazarak was going to go for Sithas at the same time. So we have two options. Pop a ritual somewhere else, which I don't think we can do. Or ignore Sithas and what, take Kiel instead? What is Sithas? Oh, Sithas has Nagenhof, which Kiel doesn't, but I suppose if we take something like Nachtdorf, we could grab Nagenhof, Karakadrin, and a bunch of stuff here. A Waldenhof... we wouldn't want Waldenhof anyway, because we'd want Castle Drakenhof instead, which probably encompasses Waldenhof, or at least I would assume that it would. And which means we, I guess, go for Kiel instead of Sithas? Yeah, the problem is the Herdstone shards. So, for whatever reason, when Colas retook Wiedebach, it didn't give us back the Herdstone shard that was used to create it, even though that was a locked ritual location. We should have had 5, and we got 4. I hope that it doesn't stay lost forever and it comes back, but I think it might be gone for good. Bit of a shame. Bit of a shame indeed. How far can you travel? You can travel reasonably far, go like so. How much would it cost to block your army? It's cheap, but it's unlikely to succeed. Well, give it a try, Korgoth. I expect this guy's gonna try to run. And it was a failure anyway. Well, we tried, and 1984. Interesting choice of a year slash a dread number. But yeah, we need 2,000 exactly. So Taurox, I guess you're going to be the one to set up this Herdstone. Away you go, sir. And what do we have here? Oh, it's just garbage, okay. I'll resolve that. Tiny bit of damage, very tiny bit of damage indeed. And it is tempting. But it's a good place to raise a Herdstone. Hey, a Dawnstone. Not a bad pickup at all. We have, in fact, even Taurox only has an Obsidian Amulet, which frankly should go to a Spellcaster instead for all that overcasting and self-hurting that they do. You can have the Dawnstone. Hopefully we'll acquire another Talisman of Endurance, but for now, Kazarak is a lot more fragile, and frankly, he just needs it more. We could do the raiding camp here, but I think we're wanting to save up for tier 20 so that we can get those Gorgons and Bulgors on the field, though one more level and we should get another Minotaur unit. The Butchers of Kalkengard, to be specific. Also, I think it takes 2 turns to recruit Minotaurs. Yes, we're not going to recruit any more until we can recruit several things at the same time, let's say. Ooh, that did give us enough dread. But let's wait on that for a second. We're also going to wait on Kazarak for a second while we figure the rest of this out. Malagor. I suppose in theory... Why is Jeray's worth more than Miro's? Oh, it's only tier 1. Probably Higren will try to run.
What is this foolishness?
If we manage to ambush, though, that'll be free dread, which I think will still take priority. I'm thinking about performing the ritual here at Varin. But let's go after Higren first. Let's hope the ambush succeeds. It didn't succeed. Are you going to run far? You're not going to run that far, actually. Oh, this actually works very much in our favor. Malagor, you're rank 12 now, which I didn't realize. Let's get you something wicked this way comes, which gives you a hex passive ability, which ain't too bad. And I guess we're going to want to move through Crowfather for that missile resistance. In fact, I'm almost tempted to get 2 points in Crowfather for the auto-resolve first. In fact, I think that's what we'll do. And let's get 2 points in Crowfather. The speed, unfortunately, though buffed, only applies to Malagor and not the Harpies. It really should apply to the Harpies as well. Tic-Tac-Toe's entire army, all his flyers, his Ripperdactyls, his Coatl, and his Pterodon Riders all move around at like 200 speed. It's absolute insanity, though he himself does not. And I feel like Malagor should lean a little bit further into buffing the flyers, and frankly, he should buff the manticores as well. He just buffs harpies a little bit and gives the missile resistance to his army. His unique tree is weak. It's very weak compared to most of the others. He does get Crowfather, so he can summon the Defiled Crows, but I think it could be stronger. Not that he's a weak lord, but more so strong because he's impossible to catch due to his speed, and he's quite a strong caster with all of the passive abilities of all the beast lords and the Doom of Mankind. But anyway, Crowfather is what we got, and Crowfather is what we'll keep, and we will now buff you up, sir. Karak Stoneheart, your unique Gorbel. Let's get you Foe Seeker. Now we should probably try to move into Brass Lung as well to get that destruction ASAP and get more of that cash. Oh, although Gnarled Hide will probably give us more auto-resolve value than Foe Seeker will right now, so how about that? Then you're going to hit Hagren, but you're going to move into... Gathering Herd stance. I wonder, wait, just out of curiosity. If we go into Ruination stance... Now, I wanted to see if this changed the balance of power at all, but it doesn't look like it does rather. Go into Gathering Herds. Should be auto-resolvable. Yes. I didn't want to ambush them, which is why I switched stances. And a little bit of damage on the Harpies, but, well, that's hardly surprising. We are going to... Man, I don't like any of these options. I mean, it's a little bit of favor for a little bit of loss of Bestial Rage. Fine, go for the favor. And then, now that this place is done, is destroyed, we will salute and raise for a very little, but you know what, it's 10 Bestial Rage and it'll allow us to loot the next place, I guess. And though the raising for the replenishment is tempting. At 400 gold, this might actually be more worthwhile. No, fine, raise in advance. And you're going the right way, good, good, good. Ah, we can even raid next turn, fantastic. Oh, I see another little army here, which I assume we cannot reach now. But that's okay. Go into raiding stance and you can spend the turn raiding here and hit Jerez. And next turn we got another Pigeon Plucker pendant for our trouble as well. And attrition +5 when under siege though, frankly. And with the flying army, we're probably rarely, if ever, going to put enemies under siege. Scab Reach or Scab Reach most likely is here. And we should probably still destroy Clan Scab. This is also probably going to make a pretty good location. Oh yeah, that looks like a pretty good location. Actually, does it though? So, currently Jerez and Miros belong to Varin, or Varin. Meaning if we use Scab Reach, or Scab Reach, damn it. It will overlap, and we know that that won't work because Sahagun used to take Pina Wood and Diamantera as for the ritual collection, whereas Varin now takes them instead, which is quite interesting. I guess we could wait or use one of these places. And just get another one of these places. I suppose more of the herdstones built raised up will still be pretty useful to us. Anyway, you sir, I believe I said we were going to go for Keel, so we'll just raise Suthas for free essentially and use Keel to area deny this area. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, Kazrak, let's do another raising. Go into Ruination stance, please. We're gonna have to wait a turn until we get that herdstone back, hopefully. Auto-resolve. Please don't get hurt. You got more hurt than I would have liked. And we are going to... I don't remember what your Bestial Rage is at, but let's raise for the replenishment. Stop moving. Another Bray Shaman's Familiar. Yeah, it's a decent amount of healing. Unfortunately, we can't hit into Keel. What I should have done is head around Suthas and then watched him back off down the road instead. That's my bad. But it happens. Stay enraged. Enraged? Raiding. But I guess that also keeps you nice and enraged, so that also works. And yeah, you know what? That heals up real... Well, maybe not real nice, but nice enough. And oh! I just realized the problem with Keel, actually. We wouldn't be able to pop the ritual here, would we? Because everything around is already pretty much destroyed, and the only thing that we'd be able to raise would be Essen, which I believe wouldn't be enough. Which means we'll just raise it, and then we'll raise a new one here, or here, or Nagenhof, it doesn't matter. We'll pick one. Alright, that's fine. Well, if somebody retakes these ruins that isn't Festus, then we'll retake them later. Also, while we're at it, go to the rewards of Dread and the upgrades to the Spired Herdstone upgrade, the tier 4 Herdstone. And now our Herdstones should be reasonably defensible, let's say. Also, Morgur, you need to take Vitabah out and allow the ritual at Talabayim. Which I guess we're gonna do right about now. Alright, skip outpost, definitely skip outpost. I do want to see if I forgot any of the Herdstone up. Oh, actually, now we should upgrade all of them right now to tier 4. I'll upgrade them all because this way they will not easily be destroyed. Ah, Castle Gisoro, you're one of the new ones. Shamanic challenges for you and Winds of Malady for you. Varan. Auckland Groydon, let's upgrade you, Colsa Hills, and it's so nice that they don't cost anything. And in fact, wait, Great Forest, and Vorbigland rather, Spired thing. I'm wondering whether we should upgrade you for even more Dread right now. But 4K is really expensive, and there are a few buildings that we wanted to build, like Kazrak's building. And I potentially wanted some giant stuff for Morgur, or Malagor rather. In fact, out of curiosity, do you even have the giant building? You don't have the giant building. You can build it. And how much capacity do they cost? It's not that bad. I mean, we can increase the Chaos Spawn capacity while we're at it. Certainly a possibility, although we should wait until the full moon. Because hopefully that'll reduce the cost of some units. But we'll see, though. Unless it was indeed the Dark Moon. But anyway, end the turn for now. And continue. Nobody better... Wait, ritual locked? Wait, why are you locked? Or did it just lock between the turns? I assume it's locked between the turns, because it would be confusing otherwise. Peace Treaty Draca? No, Draca. I love you so, but it cannot be. Anybody else just watching the banners over the over top? Move on by. Settlement receives plague Sahagan, but this is our own plague, so we don't care. Lovely little crow plagues everywhere. They do nothing for us, but whatever. What we wanted to see was this. First of all. Oh, Draca's back, but Morgur already has her defeat trait. A moment. Can he reach her in ambush stance? He cannot. What we want to do is raise Wiedebach. I guess we want to try to slow Draca down. Try the block army. It'll probably fail again because, frankly, this guy kind of sucks. His ability, he's level 1, so his ability to actually do anything is severely limited. Morgur. Do we bother chasing Draca down? I feel like I don't want to get bogged down chasing Draca forever. You know what? What if she uses world roots, then maybe we'll still be able to? Hey, can you reach us in Ruination stance? You can. Is there any need to? It's still an auto-resolve and it might hurt slightly. Go for it, Ruination. And auto-resolve it, and we'll raise it, and probably it's not worth much. I wish I remembered how much Bestial Rage you have, but I recall that you don't have a lot, so loot and raise. And that'll back you off, and back you off, not quite towards Draca, but not too bad. And we'll pop you into raiding. There we go. Not bad Bestial Rage-wise, and get a little bit closer to Draca and see what she does. Then, this ritual needs to be popped now, so that we get the Herdstones back. Very nice. Alright, and we're getting close to the next thing, but not quite there. Carnage Incarnate to Razorgore Chariot for Bravener, nice. And we'll see about this. Does this increase our chance to intercept? I don't think it does. But it's not a big deal either way. Kazrak, I guess you're just going to raise Keel and then move down here to one of these places, and then we'll... I'm almost tempted to move back to... Wait. If we redo... No, it still won't be enough, will it? Or will it? Huh. I'm just wondering, if we colonize this place as a Herdstone, we could then take Nagenhof and Kiel and Essen and get this pretty big area denial. It'll cost money, though. How much does it cost to colonize? It's 2k. It's not horrible. Alright, let's see if this plan works. I don't 100% know if this will work well, but let's hope it does. And just for the additional area denial. Raise Herdstone. Alright, and Ritual Locked, it's at 0, so it needs to be at minimum 10, so we need to make sure that we take it... Wait, what? Yeah, so we need to make sure that we take Negenhof, Kiel, and Essen, otherwise we'll need to wait for one of these places to be populated. For now, though, get Shamanic Challenges and Winds of Melody, like so, and then you can move to Kiel next turn. You don't need to build the raiding camp. What you do, though, is since you have the Razorgore Chariots and you have a free turn, is this. First of all, what's our capacity for these guys? Just the one? Escort Chariots, did I... Wait. Escort Chariots. Wait, I'm looking in the wrong place. Kazrak's army. Yeah, so we'll need to increase our capacity for them. I guess the other question is... Well, we can get rid of the Ungor Raiders. I was wondering whether we should get rid of the Tuskor Chariot right now, but not necessarily. Alright, get rid of that. Should we get rid of some of the Gores? Start putting Gores in another army. I think for now it's fine. Go for Razor Gores and Tuskors. 300. So steep. But oh well, and then build that Razor Gore Chariot. We'll have at least 2 in this army, though we want to keep it fairly Dog and Bestigor heavy, as this is the best army to have all those guys. Anyway, Taurox, it's time for you to move again, my dear friend, and ooh, hello, we got a full stack and another full stack belonging to Grom the Paunch. Looks like some more nice fights in our future. We do need to watch out for one of these guys retaking Gisoro, though, especially if it's still going to be bugged in the way that it was. I wonder if this guy would be able to reach us here. Which has me concerned. How close are we to the next rampage? Getting closer. Theraville does count, so we should probably raise it. Just loop around to Castle Bastion and then go this way to destroy all of this. Alright, well, let's risk Castle Gisoro. It does have some defenses, so a basic army won't be able to destroy it, but this one, if it can reach us here, certainly would. Either way, to Theraville first, 2 other places second. Is this auto-resolvable? Oh, would you look at that? It actually has some defenders. Now, this one might be worthy of a fight. A Taurox fight. I mean, it's nothing crazy here. We'd obviously rip our way through it, but it is a minor settlement which Taurox hasn't fought a lot. You know what, let's take a look at what other things we have as options. This campaign is effectively just running around looking for good fights, which I think we all can appreciate. Ruination stands for you, sir. Take Jurez. And you can auto-resolve that, though it'll be... Oh, damn, the Harpies. Oh, the auto-resolve really does not like the Harpies. We're gonna have to raise again. It's some money. It's not horrible, but considering how hurt we just got... Nah, stop moving. Alright, and you moved fairly far. Now, the question is... I guess we could take Tor Corindus. Wait. A moment. Tor Corindus takes Muros and does not take Jurez, but does take all this, so this might be a decent place, actually. Do we pop the ritual, though? We could, if we do, we could move up here and give these guys time to recover, but then again, it's 8 and 6, which ain't too bad. Also, these guys will probably redeclare Warness and retake Sahagun. That's not a big deal. Either way, what does not change is we're going to put you into raiding stance and start moving you towards Tor Corindus. And I guess just in case this overlaps, we're going to pop the ritual and sacrifice this. Oh, wait, how defensible are you? You're actually fairly well defended. I don't think this army would be able to destroy you. Maybe we just go for Scab Reach instead. It misses 1 location. But anyway, none of it at all answers the question as to what we do with Taurox, and what we do with Taurox is fight. Don't want to go for too many episodes where Taurox doesn't get to slaughter his way through everything that dares to face him. Although, with 2 full stacks nearby, they're probably more likely to face him than this garbage is. The only thing that concerns me is how much damage will this stuff do? I know it's basic work, boys, but these guys are not loved, let's say, by the auto-resolve. Let's say low casualties. I know, let's auto-resolve and let's hope for a better battle. I'm tempted by the fight, but nah. It's not that bad. Alright, let's go for loot and raise. It's a decent amount of cash. Taurox is starting to make pretty good bucks. And can he reach this place? Yes, he can. Fantastic. You can then... you can't go into gathering herds, but yeah, get this place as well. Yeah, that was probably worth our time. And maybe with Taurox damaged after these couple little auto results, maybe the armies nearby would be willing to actually fight him. Loot and raise as well, and then don't move back the other way. Please, please, Taurox, relax. Wait, can Taurox relax? Is it physically possible for him to relax? I'm not sure that it is. We want to get to Garb Hold. I don't think we care about Fort Bergbrus or Bergbray right now, even though there are troops there. Let's pop you into raiding stance, and ooh, we could actually raid enemy territories here, but it probably wouldn't be worth much. It's probably better to raid our own territory, such that we can heal more and keep our Bestial Rage up and running. Yeah. A little bit of damage on the Minotaurs, which is unfortunate, but on the bright side, we did get to level 24, which means we should have unlocked the Butchers of Kalkengard, which also means we can get rid of one of the other two poor units of Ungors and get you all in here. There we go. That's a nice buff for the army, and we got a potion of healing out of something, which means Kazarak, we got a potion for you, bud. Alright, and there's the Butchers of Kalkengard, and free money, and Harsh Rampage achieved. Wait a moment. We can reset now. We are damaged. What's that, Langueur de Lac? We could fight this manually. Oh yeah, there's some nice stuff there. Can we reach this in a single bound? We probably should. Alright, first things first. Moment. And these guys already have Blood Greed. I mean, we could give all of these guys Blood Greed, but I think that we would... Oh, wrong panel, my bad. We're gonna get more mileage out of the Unyielding Onslaught, I think. Get that ward save for everybody. Claim reward. Now we want to get into Savage Rampage as fast as possible. This time we won't care about the Horde buildings, because... although the Dread gained from battles plus 25%, or possibly the Stampede of the Chosen. We could just absolutely wreck Bretonnia while we are in this current rampage. Speaking of, replenish Taurox's movement range, like so. Then go into regular stance, then go into ruination stance. Actually, no. Stay in normal stance. I figure in ruination stance we get less money from the battle, and that's not necessarily a thing we want. A little free army to kill afterwards. Taurox, let's level you up and then let's go. Don't need the Titans of the Deep Forest. We have Apocalyptic Visions, so we're good here. We could get him Gouge Tusks finally. Or we could go through the... Also tempted by the Blessed by Evil. Income from post-battle loot. The raising stuff isn't all that much. Although, right now we're probably going to start making a ton more money, not out of post-battle loot, but out of raising, due to the way that we're building our herd stones. Let's get Gouge Tusks. Feels wrong for Taurox not to have Gouge Tusks. I mean, they are Gouge Tusks, but I guess they weren't called that. Anyway, what do we do here? Onslaught gives us strength when attacking, so we could go through you, but we probably want Arcane Conduit. Let's get you Mantle of Gorok. Frankly, I don't care for Savage Dominion. Mostly because of the way that summons work, but anyway. You can go Pan's Impenetrable Pelt. Or do we want Flock of Doom in this army? Nah, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt is fine. And also, what I wanted to do was get you that Skull of Catan, or Dagger of Catan? Skull of Catan. Yeah, Spell Mastery plus 50%. Yes. And get that. And we can combine that with the Trickster Shard on you to hopefully dish out some damage. Alrighty, the Gorbulls will also need to level, but they're leveling roughly the same thing, so Foe Seeker and probably Shadowhide. I mean, the defenses are still pretty... No, actually, your defenses are starting to be pretty good. In fact, your defenses are higher than not. Nonetheless, though, Shadowhide. They're likely to get hit in range. Foe Seeker for you, and then lastly... Oh, you're not at Foe Seeker yet. But you are now. Alright, good enough. No Hellfire Sword for the third Gorbull, but we will get one eventually. Attack. Wait. Wrong place. Attack. And this also counts. Lovely. Alright, Taurox, time to get to work, buddy. We'll rip our way through these guys. I think this might be a slightly more interesting fight than that Orky fight, mostly because of the presence of the Knights Errant, in which are probably better than any of the basic Orc units. Plus, we're a lot more hurt now, which will make it a little bit more difficult. Away we go. Oh wow, that was a very long speech for Taurox. Oh, and Taurox looks fantastic with this lighting here. But yeah, that was a very, very long speech. That's like 6 Grimgore speeches in one. But anyway, here we go. Last episode, we absolutely obliterated a bunch of Bretonnian armies, all pretty much at the same time, though that was a lot of it, up to Taurox hunting down all the enemy lords before they could do anything, and then Slaw doing 200 and something, 220,000 damage, something ridiculous along those lines. Here we will not be relying on Slaw to do all of our work, maybe a little bit of our work, but instead relying on slaughtering the enemy the old-fashioned way. We have an enemy tier 4 explosive tower standing against us, which will be threatening every single type of unit, and this is also a fairly good position for this tower, as it is controlled by this minor supply location all the way back here. So there's no knocking this thing down, and we have no range units in this army, and thus no way to bring it down. On top of that, we are at about half HP for all of our units, and that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. On the bright side, though, this is the debut battle of the Butchers of Kalkengard, our regiment of renown. Minotaurs with shields, which, okay, you're a Gorbel, you're also a Gorbel. I was taking a look at these guys, which have those nice shields of theirs. Wait, do the regular Minotaurs with shields have the human skeletons on them? What do they have on them? No, they have the horns on them, and then the various other types of skulls. So these guys have the unique shield. Oh, look. All right, well, that's nice for them. Those are probably the citizens of Kalkengard, I would assume. Anyway, these guys are going to lead the charge and charge forth into this platform, there we go. Barricade platform, while Taurox makes his way into the fray first. Alright, gore a few of those men-at-arms, but they're mostly just in the way. Taurox wants to get to the better fight, so he's going to charge right through them and go towards those Knights Errant. And damn, just brought down like 5 of them with the blows of his axes. Then he activates Bloodbeast to do more damage, and I think he just sent some corpses flying as well. Alright, and damn, those Knights Errant are having a bad time. 20 of them dead in a few blows, and the men-at-arms are no longer holding as the other units move in to help Taurox, and yeah, those Knights Errant are pretty much done rather. Out here we've popped the Trickster Shard and Devolve upgraded on the blob of enemies, and have also activated Vissen's Wild Form on our blob of units. And we do have a decent amount of enemy Knights Errant blocking us off here as well, and I do believe the enemy will be moving in some of their battle pilgrims and foot squires. Elite infantry as far as the Bretonnians go anyway, to try to help them out. How effective that's going to be, I'm not sure, especially as while we're holding ground here, we are also going to hit the enemy in the flanks and the back with Taurox and the rest of those units. Taurox continues to want Wheaties, but he also wants more combat. Ooh, some Minotaur charging, and bloody as always, and that's certainly going to compress the enemy line. Alright, and here comes Taurox to back him up, possibly using one of his Minotaur minions as a bit of a battering ram. Though Taurox is something of a battering ram himself. Battering ram, Beastmen. Yes. Alright, just amusing myself. Anyway, the enemy foot squires and battle pilgrims have arrived, and they can enjoy another Bloodbeast as Taurox continues wrecking his way through their faces. 30k damage on him already and 150 kills, and I'm willing to bet that he is way ahead of everybody else in terms of kills and damage. Though it looks like the Minotaurs are trying to slaughter their way through the enemy and keep up. I'm sure they're all having fun. Up here, it looks like we have some more Knights Errant moving in, though a Gorbel leads the Razor Gores and Hounds of Pestilence to face off against them. And by the looks of it, we're doing pretty okay. Bounce powers are about 80% in our favor, and the enemy is standing little chance. I mean, and if this army stands little chance here, I don't imagine that Orc army would have stood any more of a chance either. And besides, we see 2 full stacks belonging to Grom the Paunch nearby, so we'll be taking care of those as soon as we can. I don't feel that bad about auto-resolving it anymore. Anyway, looks like the units that were holding that barricade have been demolished, like the barricade itself, and now we can make our way up the ramp and help out. Another devolve is going to come down to get that lovely acid rain effect on the enemy. And once again, it looks like the combination of the Razor Gores and Hounds of Pestilence is doing an absolutely horrendous number on the enemy. Or horrific, rather. It's also nice to see some Gorbels lead the fray. Not just the Minotaurs and not just Taurox. And these guys need their chance to shine as well, though it won't be much longer. This particular battle is the last of the enemy men-at-arms and will shatter one of the units of Knight Errant, or actually, no, that's Mounted Yeomen. Oh, well, they're smart. They have mounts and they never join combat, so they're just gonna run the heck away. And it looks like one battle pilgrim remains alive. I assume he got knocked. Oh my lord. Okay. I was about to say he got knocked down by the hounds, and then this Gorbel jumps out of nowhere and knocks him down as well. Well done, buddy. You get pets. All right. Alright, nice little fight. In fact, Taurox healed up a little bit during the fight. A little bit of damage on us, but primarily losses to the 2 Ungors, and not really by the enemy army, but rather by the enemy siege tower, not siege tower, the defensive towers. So we're just fine. 112 dread per attack now. Gotta keep it coming. Let's continue looting and raising as well. It's 3.5k every time, and there's plenty of things to spend on. Next time that there is a very cheap raise one, we'll take the constant casualty replenishment rate, but for now I think we can handle what we're dealing with. A loot and raise, this will move you into close to Castle Gisoro. Now, we could reset it again, destroy Angeline Mercier here. I don't think we care about Oak of Prophecy because it's not part of this thing. Oh, Castle Garamont and Castle Baston are also part of it. Not so sure that we want to go down there. I mean, I was thinking about going like this. How close are we to this, incidentally? Between 220 and 319. I'm not sure that 30 is enough, but it very well could be. Now, this is free dread, so I think we should replenish to attack this as well. I'm a little bit worried about how much damage the army will take from it, but I think we should still do it. So, you know what, Taurox, go here. Right to the edge of this. So let's replenish you again. And then we'll attack you. There's basically no defenders at the Oak of Prophecy. They're ambushes. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's gonna kill the destroyers of the Drakewald. A game. Game, why you do this? Alright, it'll just take like 30 seconds. It's dumb, but what can you do? Yeah, I a little bit regret auto-resolving that first one. Our army wouldn't be nearly as badly damaged if I hadn't done that. Also, I guess what we should probably do is grab the Icons of Vilification from Morgar, thereby allowing us to Okay, Butchers of Cow. Oh, this guy's a flyer? Isn't he just going to run away? Huh. Well, actually, we'll see, I guess. What was I saying? Icons of vilification for the bonus. Start deployment, start battle, go. Kill this prophetess. We'll see if the paladin lands. Also speed up to max. And it looks like he will land. Hopefully he doesn't kill any of the doggos. Oh, okay, well then, okay, kill the paladin, kill the paladin. The hero died so fast that I couldn't quite spot it. And is he already dead? No, he's just shattered. Yes, icons of vilification for like the 50th time. The bonus replenishment rate. And deployed 2, losses 1. Remaining 1? What are you talking about? Not only did they both die, but they were in march stand, so they should be super dead. Hopefully they are super dead and the game is just being rude. Also, these doggos and these piggies have been around for so long, we definitely should transfer them to another army rather than deleting them when we have better stuff for Taurox, so we will probably not, well, do that. When's the power, reserve capacity, Bracham's familiar, another gambler's armor, nice pickup. Alright, Earthing Rod and Savage Rampage achieved. Ah, we've reached the next one already, and these rampages are coming in quick. And now this will be an interesting question. Do we go for the Stampede of the Chosen for that additional momentum and more turns and more stuff done over the turn, or do we go for the additional Dread, which will, which will come in very handy as well? And I'm not so sure yet. We also grab that Oak of Prophecy. And just to raise it, we don't have to raise a new Herd Stone here, although it's not the worst position. There's probably better ones right behind it, like here somewhere. It does overlap a few things, but oh, it does take Castle Garamont. I wonder if it steals Languerre de Lac, as in if we put another one here. I think this is what we're gonna do, actually. Not only is it a bunch of stuff, we don't really care about Castle Garamont, and even if it overlaps a single thing, we still have plenty of stuff out of, well, Carbon Hold's actually just the one. Almost tempted to say that maybe we should just pop the ritual. Either way, we will figure that out as we go. I think the Oak of Prophecy will have to do a manual fight. Like, it'll be a garbage manual fight. So I think I'll do this one between the episodes just to save screen time, rather than auto-resolve it and get more hurt. So we'll have to wait on that. And with Mr. Taurox, otherwise, by the looks of it, we are ready to end the turn, and thus I think we're ready to end the episode, unfortunately. We're basically out of time, and I'd rather not waste screen time on that little battle that remains. As per one suggestion, though, there's a couple of things I want to do. First of all, we have decent cash. Not for long, but decent cash. I want to get this, the Battle-Scarred Ungor Raider for the extra campaign movement range plus 10%. It's nothing crazy, it ain't actually all that much, but I do think that for Taurox, at least, who's just constantly moving, we should probably use it. Oh. A bound version of Savage Dominion, eh? Without cost, that's actually quite nice. It's quite nice indeed. But for now, Battle-Scarred Ungor Raider purchase, and just the one. And we'll put it on you, Taurox, to get you a little bit more move. Can't lose that income from post-battle loot. I guess we're going to have to lose the Ungor Whelp. Whoever has the lowest bestial rage will get you. And we'll trade the Ungor Whelp for a... I forgot what the other guy was called. Some kind of other Ungor, right? Battle-Scarred Ungor Raider. So basically a better Ungor. This all makes sense. And yeah, we'll head towards the Oak of Prophecy between the episodes. There's also probably some more investiture that we have to make. I guess we could put Malagor. I mean, I did want to get him that giant building. That's how they have to move right now. Hop into Hidden Encampment, lose a little bit of that rage, and instead gain the giant building. Oh, actually, no. Stay enraged, because the icons of vilification will also give us the horde building construction cost reduction. I forgot about that. Frankly, I should have fought it this episode, but I forgot about the, well, I forgot that it existed. So we'll do it next episode, so we have a plan. There's a few other admin things that I'll take care of between the episodes, including the Oak of Ages, and when we come back, we'll end the turn, get a few more fights, and then hopefully get the icons of vilification going. And we're gonna have to send somebody to hunt down Carl again, who's revived. Anyway, more Beastmen to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments for the algorithm down below, especially for the hour-long episode next time. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.